Welcome to Tia's Table, where we talk about making fitness and wellness doable for busy women like you and me. Looking for healthy meal ideas, workout motivation, and good conversation? Don't worry, I got you, girl. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey girl, welcome back to another episode of Tia's Table. I'm Tia, a certified group fitness instructor and behavior change coach. I help women develop healthy habits that align with their health, wellness, and fitness goals. If you or someone that you know is interested in gaining some momentum, they need to be held accountable, or maybe they just want to be more consistent in the plan that's already in place for them, girl, reach out to me. I would love to see if I would be able to help and be a part of that journey. You can do that by emailing me at tiavfitness@gmail.com. I feel like we haven't had a chance to talk all summer, and I know I said I would come and record and all that, but when I mean to tell you, the summer grabbed me by the back of the sports bra and it just drugged me for filth. That's exactly what happened. I have been everywhere. I have done everything. I feel like I have seen it all and I feel like I have done it all. If there's something left that you can do during the summer months and I haven't done it, it would surprise me. It would surprise me. My kids go back to school in like 2 weeks. And first of all, like I'm not ready for them to go back to school. I'm not a fan of the school year. I'm probably the opposite of what you hear most parents saying. Like, oh, they're like, oh my gosh, my kids are out of school. I'm like, yes, give me a break. Give me all the breaks. Give me longer breaks. I don't care if they're eating all the snacks. I don't care if they're ripping and running through here. I don't care if the house isn't as tidy as it normally would be. Give me all of the school breaks, because if those children are not in school, that means I can turn off my alarm clock. And this summer, I think what I learned about myself is that it's not the getting up at 5 a.m. Monday through Friday that gets to me about the school year. It is the sound of the alarm clock that annoys me first thing in the morning. And then it's kind of like, oh, and to top it off, you've got to actually get up and like be responsible, and you've got to raise these children, right? So to help me out with that this school year, I changed my alarm clock to Beyonce's I'm That Girl. And for some reason, I do find that to be extremely motivating. I just kind of just lay in bed until I am in full agreement with some of the lyrics enough. And then I'm like, yes, girl, we got to get up. We got to get up. We got to get up. So that's been helping me so far this summer. I've been trying to train myself to get up when the alarm clock goes off, so that when the school year starts in about 2 weeks, I'm not like having to drag myself out of bed. But anyway, let's get all caught up. I feel like I have so much that I want to talk about before the start of season 3 of this podcast, which I can't even believe like I'm on a season 3, but here we are. So first, let's talk about what's on Tia's table. I have been eating a lot of seafood and a lot of vegetables. A lot. I've eaten seafood every way it can be served to you, all of the ways. But I would like to share that maybe one of the things that's going to be surprising to most people, because it's not good for you, it's full of calories and fats and like all the things. It's full of all the things, but oh my gosh, when I mean to tell you it's good, and if you can get a good one, then you will not regret it. You will not regret it. I normally try to save it for the weekend. It's like a treat for myself, from eating really well all week long. And you can judge me if you want to. I really probably won't even know that you did, right? When I mean to tell you nothing is better, well, something might be better, but at the price point and the ease, the convenience of getting it, when I mean to tell you that giant fish sandwich at Captain D's is still good. Like, she still hits. She's still good every time. She's still good every time. I haven't tried the spicy one. You can put hot sauce on it, I guess, if you wanted to. I don't do that because to me, it's perfect the way that they serve it. It is a giant fish sandwich, and I've been eating these fish sandwiches since I was in college. Like, I learned about it when I was in college. Then, you move around the country, and everywhere doesn't have Captain D's, but where I live now, we've got Captain D's, and thank God for it, because when you are in the mood for a fish sandwich, but you don't want to fry fish yourself, You don't want your house smelling like fish, your bonnet and your robe smells like fish. You got to actually stand at the deep fryer and like fry it. And by the time you fry fish to serve your family, you're over that fish sandwich. Like, girl, you don't even want it anymore. You don't even want it anymore. And then there's Captain D's. Captain D's says to me, girl, you want that fried fish sandwich? All you got to do is get in line. All you got to do is get in line and swipe your card. And we're going to give you a perfectly fried, giant fish sandwich. Now, they're not going to give you a lot of fries. That's not what they do. They're not that place. Like if you want a sandwich and you want like a considerable amount of fries, that's not what they give you at Captain D's. But trust me when I tell you the fish sandwich is indeed so giant that you won't really care about the fact that they're only going to give you like 6 French fries. You're not going to care because your stomach's going to be full. You're going to eat that sandwich and you're going to be like, man, I don't even have room for fries, but you're going to eat the fries because you kind of just have to while you're eating a sandwich. So they give you just enough to have a fry here and a fry there between bites of that sandwich. It comes with lettuce on it and it comes with tartar sauce and it's perfect. And you know, like they can give you cocktail sauce or whatever other kind of sauce you might want to dip your sandwich in. Now, the last time I got a sandwich, my Captain D's was out of lettuce. Go figure. And even with no lettuce, the sandwich still hit. I wasn't mad. I was very happy about it. And I have not been able to stop thinking about the giant fish sandwich at Captain D's since I had it over this past weekend. So if you are like me and you love a good fried fish sandwich and you don't feel like making it yourself, because let's face it, the one you make at home is always going to be better. It's always going to be better. Or you could go to a place that has like wings and fish, like they do fried fish and they do fried chicken. A place like that probably has a good one, but you know what? Because I've gotten a fish sandwich from those places, their sandwiches are not as big. Their sandwiches are not as big. Will their fish be fried harder and more crispy? Maybe. Yeah, probably. But the size of the sandwich at Captain D's is what steals my heart. And if you can get one that has been fried really crispy and they got that batter and that grease was like the right temp, girl, like it's gonna hit and you're gonna be happy every time. You're gonna bite that sandwich and you're gonna think about me. And you're gonna say, I didn't expect Tia to recommend this, but I'm glad she did. Go to Captain D's, girl. Get your life. Like, so good. So, and you can eat it while you drive. Not that you should be doing that, but it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I can run errands and eat this at the same time. So, yay, that's what's been on my table. That's what I'm so excited to have again, maybe this coming weekend. Who knows what I'll be in the mood for, but that is what's on my table and on my mind in this present moment. So, let's do a bit of a summer recap and share some exciting news that I think, could be, I don't know if it'll be exciting for everybody, but I think it's exciting to me. And I think many of us will be excited for it too. So, summer recap. I mean, I let my kids at the beginning of the summer make a summer bucket list of all of the things that they wanted to do while they were out of school. They only get an 8-week summer, right? Which to me is kind of short. But I let them make a list of all the things they wanted to do. And when I allowed them to do that, I must have been possessed by the funner version of myself because she allowed them to write down whatever they wanted. She didn't stop them. She was like, yes, kids, live your best life, live a soft life, write down everything you want to do. Then when it came time to actually execute the things on the bucket list, I think real me was back. And real me was kind of like, oh gosh, y'all want to do something every day. You want to go where? You want to do what again? All the time, every day? And that has been pretty much my life for the past 6 to 7 weeks. We have seen every movie. We have seen Little Mermaid. We've seen Spider-Man. We're going to see Elementals. We have gone to the beach. The beach is that I'm not going to complain about the beach. The beach is great. And I love going to the beach. I probably need to live at the beach. I'm pretty sure I need to pick my house up, this exact house, because I don't really need another house. Pick this exact house up and just put it in front of the ocean. It's right on the sand. And I would probably be okay with that for the rest of my life. I think I do need to live like closer to the water. But yes, we went to the beach. Every single last beach activity you can drum up in your mind, they did it. They went glow in the dark golfing. They went to the arcades. We ate everything. We went everywhere. It was a time and it was great. This was probably the first summer that we have gone to the beach and I did not get so beaten up by the sun that it did not make me sick. This is the first year that I cracked the code on not getting so super sunburnt. And I think that allowed me to enjoy our trip that much more. So, I mean, it was a blast. The beach was a blast. When we got back from the beach, and their favorite cousins came to visit. So that was a week full of activities back to back to back to back to back. And then my mom came to visit, and fast forward, and now here we are today. And they go back to school in 2 weeks. We already have their school schedules for the upcoming school year. I know who's going to be teaching my children. I know when open house is. I have the school supply list. I haven't gone school shopping for supplies yet. I'm not stressed about that, but I have started like back to school clothing shopping because it is three of them and that gets to be a little costly when it's three of them. And everybody needs new pants because they're all tall like their dad. Everyone needs new shoes and new everything. So I've started doing the clothing part, but I need to like get the list and go do the actual supply shopping part. Um, so we're moving right along. I think that I am tired just from all of the going. Um, oddly enough, my daughter had a couple concerts that she wanted to go to this summer, because we know that I'm so excited to be going to see Beyonce in like a couple weeks. Cannot even believe my time is almost now, but it is. But when I noticed that a couple of the people that I've heard her talking about were going to be in town doing concerts, I was like, you know what, Tia, you should take this child to see some of these people that she listens to all day, because that would be a really great moment for her, and she'll remember that forever that she got to go to concerts this summer. So one of the concerts she went to, we went with one of her little girlfriends from school. Um, that child spilled a milkshake in my car, but it was okay. It was okay. I was back in my fun mom element that particular day, so I was like, "Oh, honey, it's okay. It's all good vibes over here. Y'all just wipe up that milkshake, and Miss Tia will have her car cleaned out in a few days. It's fine. Let's just keep the vibrations high." So they went and saw someone named Melanie Martinez. It was an outdoor concert. The songs were really good. The lyrics were a little questionable, but overall, I'm like, this is great. It's fine. It's fine. I could see how people would be into it. And the outfits that I saw at that particular concert were some of the most intricate that I think I've seen on social media from all of the other concerts that people have been going to. It's probably some of the best. The people at this concert were dressed more like fairies, poison ivy, think of your more like ethereal meets gothic kind of thing, and that's what was at this concert. The other concert that she went to was a K-pop concert, and I had no idea. I mean, I had heard of K-pop bands before, but I really had never listened to their music. I had never watched a music video. Like, that's totally not my thing. So I had never looked into it more than just seeing people kind of chat about it on Twitter. But I would have to say that that concert was worth every single last penny that it cost to attend. Like, I would go back. If those girls did a concert tomorrow, I would be like, oh my gosh, I got to figure out how to get us back down there, because it was such a good show from start to finish. And I don't know when that show was going to end, but at like the 3.5 hour mark, it started to storm. And obviously they had to shut the concert down because it too was an outside concert. But I don't think that it would have ended if it weren't for the weather. Like, I think those girls are trained to go, you know? But it was great. There were lights, there were fireworks, it was smoke. It was great. Like I would go back. 10 out of 10. I give that concert. So you see, when I say I'm exhausted and I'm tired, I am exhausted and I am tired because I allowed the fun version of myself to plan everything. And then the real version of me, who maybe is a little fun, but not as fun as the fun version. It's like I'm fun, but real me has boundaries. And my capacity for loud and noise and busyness isn't that high, right? Real me gets overstimulated. Fun me doesn't realize I'm overstimulated until I'm like riding in the car on the way back home, right? So at this point in the summer, I'm like, whew, girl, yeah, let's sit down, let's school shop, and let's kind of just coast right up until the first day of school, if at all possible. I do think it's like two things left on that summer bucket list that we need to do over the next 2 weeks, but they're very easy, very simple to execute, and I'm gonna make sure we get them done before August. So, yes, if you too have been busy all summer and you've been doing all of the things and going all of the places and creating memories and you're exhausted, like, girl, I feel you and I see you. And just know that school will be starting soon. And if you're anything like me, you're not going to like school starting back either. You're not going to but hey, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. One of the best things I think about this summer, though, has been the fact that I did take the summer off from work. I have had a very calm, easygoing, peaceful summer as a coach. And I don't know how if I've ever even talked about that before on the podcast, but as a coach, you talk on the phone a lot. You're on your phone all the time. You're either FaceTiming, you're talking to somebody, or you're texting all day long because that is what you do for a living, right? And I love my job. I love getting to talk to women. I love the fact that we definitely have the focus of the same goals, right? Like we're trying to develop a healthier lifestyle for whoever it is I'm talking to. But because we are women, we end up kikiing about other things too, right? So I absolutely love what I do. But I don't think it was until this summer when I decided to do the bucket list and take the summer off that I realized, like, man, I spend a lot of time talking on the phone, like a lot. And I've got to figure out a way to kind of streamline the process of what I do so that I can still help the same amount of people, or perhaps maybe even more people, um, but cut down the amount of time that I'm spending on the phone because surely the amount of time that I spend on the phone, I could be putting that time towards other things that still help my business grow. But I would be better served, splitting up my time, basically. And so I met with a business coach who was really helpful. And what's crazy about the way life works is that then I also ended up just having a natural conversation with a woman at a wedding that I went to in May who kind of reinforced some of the things that the coach told me, and this is strange, but I kind of like what the woman at the wedding told me. Kind of liked a lot of her ideas much better than the business coach's ideas. But I met with her and she kind of reinforced some of the things that I had already been told. She really validated me as a businesswoman because I was telling her some of the things that I had already done or tried, things that I was considering doing. And she was like, no, like you've done all the right things. You're doing all the right things. Sometimes you just have to keep going until your process hits. And if you quit, then you'll never see it hit. But like you're doing all of the right things, right? And so I was like, well, that's good to know. So we chatted and I appreciated her so much. But I still really didn't make any moves on anything because, that's just how we do. If you know someone who runs their own business or who is trying to make a living solely off of the work that they do without an employer, right? Then send that person something nice, right? Buy them lunch, send them Send them money for coffee. Do something generous for that person because they're probably stressed out. I didn't make a move on any of the stuff that we had talked about because in my mind, I'm still thinking, well, such and such has been working for me for so long. Like, why would I change up, completely change up what I'm doing if this particular thing has been working for me, even though like I'm working myself into, a very stressful place. Like it's hard to never feel like you can turn your phone off, or it's hard to feel like you can never step away from your phone, right? And if you've ever been one of my clients, then when you reach out to me, I am magically almost always available, right? On the weekends, even if I'm traveling, even if I'm on vacation, like I wasn't ever turning off my phone or like taking PTO days. I just wasn't doing it. And that's primarily because how I had things set up. I really just couldn't do it because of how things were set up. And it's funny because maybe like a year or so ago, I had the idea to create an app. And I didn't move on it back then because I was just like, no, I didn't feel like I was at a place where my business was ready for it. Because of course that's taking on an additional cost of doing something like that, of launching something like that. And I didn't feel like I was ready. But now I feel like I'm absolutely ready. So when the app is finished, because it's still being created, it hasn't been published yet. And I think I probably have, maybe I'm a month out or a little bit over a month out from it being published to like the Apple Store and like Google Play and like all the places you can download apps. But when it's ready, I'm so excited to start using it to coach. Um, the one-on-one experience that people have always had from me will still be available. However, moving forward, my goal is to coach women through the app, right? In that app, you'll be able to calculate your calories and your macros. Of course, I can set those for you. You'll be able to log your food and track it. You'll be able to log your workouts. You'll be able to log all of your healthy habits like water, sleep, bedtime routine. Like there are a million different things in there that we can kind of look at together during our discovery calls to determine what your goals are, but we can plug those in there. You can track your steps, water intake, if I haven't said that already. We'll be able to easily share meal plans with one another. So like I can create meal plans for you and send them to you. Some people will have access to like a library's worth of healthy recipes, like right there at your disposal. So you can kind of create your own meal plans. You'll have access to, or I should say, some people, depending on what type of client you choose to be, some people will have access to a library of lots of different workouts. I can create workout plans for you and have them right there for you in the app so that it's easy for you to pull your workout up and do it at home or at the gym. I can send you personalized videos of workouts that we come up with together. We'll be able to schedule all of our calls and all of that with one another. Like, oh, girl, all in the app. All in the app. But I think what I love the most about the app is that it's going to give us a real sense of like sisterhood and community because also in the app, we'll have different groups. And right now I'm leaning towards just having the one. I don't see the point in like, separating and creating multiple groups unless I do see where it would be a need for that. For example, perhaps women over 40 might want their own group because they're dealing with stuff that like a 20-year-old just cannot relate to. You know what I'm saying? So maybe something like that might be the case if I see that that's something that people want to do. But for now, I'm like, yes, I can create a place for all of us to kind of communicate and share and learn from one another and cheer one another on and motivate and encourage each other. I know people are very used to and they're accustomed to me sharing my food every day on Instagram, but I think I'm going to move that kind of content to the app. Um, because I think that's where it should be. Once we create, a sense of togetherness there, I'm gonna move a lot of that kind of content over to the app. So if I'm eating something or I have a recipe for something and I think you find it helpful or it just tastes really good and it's healthy and it's good for us, it's easy to do. All of that stuff now will start going into the app and I'm so excited about it. There really aren't any limitations to what that app can do. So I just have to continue to be patient and wait for it to be to be ready. I'm so very, very, very excited about it because I really do think it's going to take my business in a new direction. And I think I'm at a place now where I'm ready to take on the challenge of moving forward in this way. I know that it'll come with a set of challenges. I know that there will be some growing pains with it because it's technology, right? And there's always some type of glitch or whatever when you're dealing with something technology based. But I'm very hopeful that people will respond to it well, that it'll resonate with them and be something that really, really helps them. As you all know, I mean, this is my life and what I do. So I've seen all the apps. I've used a lot of the apps. And in my opinion, I personally always had a hard time finding one app that allowed me to just track and see every single last thing, right? A lot of apps focus on food or they focus on working out, but it's very rare that one app allows you to focus on all of them at a very high level. So when I mean you'll be able to see like the breakdown of your nutrition, you can see how much of your food in one day was like fats, proteins, or carbs. You'll be able to see how many calories you took in versus how many calories you burned, which is pretty typical. I'm not going to lie for most of the nutrition apps. But when it comes to the workouts, you'll be able to track and log exactly what you did. So if we sit down and we kind of come up with a workout plan for you, you'll be able to put in, I did an incline walk on the treadmill. You'll be able to say, this is how long my walk was. This was the incline. This was my fastest speed. And this is how many calories I burned. So you'll always have a reference point when you want to compare either your fitness level or you want to see maybe in a month's time what type of workout was really getting you the results that you want. I know for me that has been super important because you all know I was running, running, running. I was running for my life. I was running all the time, right? And I ended up trying the incline walk thing and it really and we have to give social media credit where credit is due. That workout, that incline walking is really the business. Like it really does shed fat because I started noticing a difference in the way my body looked when I started doing those 30-minute incline walks. And now you cannot keep me off an incline. I mean, even earlier today for my workout, I did like a 30-minute incline. I did 12. I still keep it the same. So my incline is at a 12, but my speed has gotten faster. So I was able to walk today at like a 3.4, right? And I find stuff like that, just knowing stuff like that is so extremely important. And being able to log that information somewhere that you can use to kind of like refer back to it is extremely helpful. And it'll be the same for whatever other kind of workout we discuss and think is right for you based on a lot of different things. I love the fact that I'll also be able to share different PDFs with you guys. So if there is something and it's like a recipe, but we don't want to just put it in a chat because then, chats get pushed down and all of that kind of stuff. I can send out recipe cards that you can just go ahead and save to your phone. Like when I mean to tell you there are no limitations to what it can do, there really aren't many limitations to what I can't do, right? The only limitations will probably be in my own mind, and I just have to keep working on that. I just have to keep working on that. Another thing I learned over the summer going to all these concerts with my daughter is that there is somebody out there for everybody. There is something out there for everybody. So this is just to encourage anyone who has an idea for something or you are still feeling like you're in the beginning stages of running a business. I became a group fitness instructor like 6 years ago. right? And then gradually started getting more into the coaching with different certifications and kind of all that stuff. But I've been coaching for about 5 years, and I'm just now getting to a place where I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, let's try to take this in a different direction and see what could come of it. But mentally, I was not there even a year ago. So if you're someone who is working on an idea, or you already have a business and you feel like you don't know what's going on, you just know that you're working, girl, I have been there. All I can say is keep going. If you have an idea for something, try it, because there is something out there for everybody, and there is a group of people willing to pay you for whatever it is you have to offer. And I know people think that, like, oh, because so and so is already doing this, maybe I don't want to do it, or I feel like there are so many people out doing whatever, so I don't want to do it. But they're not you. And I think one of the best things I got out of all the conversations I had over the summer is that at the end of the day, at least in the fitness industry, and I know this to be true because I have a trainer, right? If you're a trainer, if you're working in the fitness industry and you happen to hear this, because I know a lot of the folks over at Precision Nutrition, they read the newsletter and all that stuff. So if you are a coach and you're also hearing this, like, girl, just remember that they're not you. Like, it's a million of us. It's a million personal trainers. It's a million health coaches. It's a million people doing the work that we do, but people will gravitate to you because of who you are, your personality, your bedside manner, maybe your efficiency, your professionalism. It'll be something about you that's different than all of the other people they tried, and they will come to you and they will stick with you. I'm so thankful for the women that have allowed me to be a part of their health and wellness journey, because typically when I get clients, like, my retention is good. I can pat myself on the back and toot my own horn about that. My retention is pretty good. So I know that, you know, I'm onto something with what I'm doing, and I know I'm not bad at it. But I also know at some point everybody's kind of got to grow up, try to scale what you're doing, or try to be more efficient about what you're doing, try to be smarter about what you're doing, while at the same time becoming more knowledgeable about what you're doing. And we will all get there. So if my time off didn't teach me anything else, it taught me, number one, become a better businesswoman. And number two, even if you don't think, even if I as a person don't think that I might be ready for something, it doesn't mean that my business isn't ready for it, because we're two completely different things. I'm a person with feelings and emotions and all that stuff, and my business is a service. It don't have no feelings. And it's like, girl, we can only do so much in a day. So you need to streamline this to the best of your ability, and then see what comes after that. So I'm happy to introduce the TVF app. As soon as it is ready and it has launched, I will be the first to let you all know, so that we can go ahead and create our accounts, and we can start talking to one another about what it is that you need, and I can get your app all set up for you, and we can start making real life change that will take you to where you want to be, which is a healthier, happier you. So excited for that. So the podcast, what is coming up with the podcast? The podcast is going to keep on rolling, because I love doing this. Even though I don't put out episodes every week, I don't know how people do that. I don't know how they do it. When people have podcasts and they have new episodes that come out every week, I'm like, girl, what is you even talking about? Other than like pop culture, I know a lot of people do podcasts weekly when they're like news based or like current events based. And I can totally see that, because the news cycle changes literally at the blink of an eye. So I totally get that. But for some other, I don't know, topics for podcasts, I'm like, girl, how do you even do that? Like, how do you even do it? But again, maybe with the launch of the app, my time will free up in a way that maybe I could have the creative space to think of more things to talk about and put out, you know, podcasts more often. But for now, we're still gonna stick to the twice a month. I feel like twice a month is enough for where we are right now. And for season three, I really do plan on continuing with a few of the things we started in season two. So I really want to try some more of the Medi Spa services and kind of report back on whether or not I feel like they're worth it, if they're helpful, if I notice a difference. There are a couple that have been coming across my timeline that have piqued my interest, and I have chatted with people about them, and people swear by them. They swear by them, and I'm like, well, if you swear by it, it might you might be right. I mean, I don't know. So I'm gonna try them and report back about those. And I'm gonna try to do that before the weather changes. Um, just in case people have like things you're going to do while it's still warm outside. I want you to be able to take advantage of those before the weather changes. So we've got some more Medi Spa services coming up. Of course, you all know I have been taking that nutrition class and I'm about to graduate pretty soon. So I really want to keep giving out as much nutrition information as I possibly can because I feel like nutrition does crack the code. I mean, you can work out for hours and hours every day, all week long. But if you're still not eating and drinking the right way for your body, I mean, it's really like you probably shouldn't even work out at all, kind of, right? And I think what I've learned the most from that nutrition class is that it's not that people don't know what to eat, because I think at this point everybody knows eat your veggies, eat your fruit, drink your water, and eat the best possible meat that you can get your hands on. I think people already know that. And of course, portion control, right? People already know that. But I think what people don't know is the why behind why we should be eating the way that we're supposed to. And I think if people knew and understood the why behind it, it would help us be more consistent because you would be able to attach something like I need to be eating more protein to the fact that you might always feel tired. You know what I'm saying? Or you might say to yourself, like, oh, if I knew that eating X amount of fats every day would help me with inflammation or would help me with this or that, then you might be a little bit more encouraged to make sure you were doing those things on a daily basis because you would be able to attach it to a real, like a real purpose and not that you're just eating just to be cute. Which, and let's not even lie to ourselves. Sometimes I know I'm just eating it just because I'm like, girl, we can't lose these results. Like we've made it this far, sit down and eat this food. And I also do get tired of eating. I get tired of thinking about food. I get tired of reading and learning about food. I get tired of making food, ordering food, shopping for food, cooking food, cleaning up after the food, all of it. But then also on the other side of that, I'm just like, yeah, Tia, but if it wasn't for the food, you literally would cease to exist. I have also been able to take away from that class that like your body works so hard just to keep you alive. Like even if you weren't exercising, let's say you had a very sedentary lifestyle. You sat down all day long from the time you woke up until the time you go to bed at night. You did absolutely nothing but catch vibes and watch TV. Well, your body is working so hard just to do that, just to keep you alive, just to keep you breathing and to keep your heart beating and all of that. Your body is working so hard. So then when we do anything extra, if you take your children to school, if you stand up and cook a meal, if you do a load of laundry, if you do actually exercise or you garden or cut grass, if you have to run after a toddler, you're pushing that heavy cart in Target, if you do anything extra, your body is literally signaling to you, oh, like, girl, like, how, how we gonna do all this? And you only had coffee today. How do you think you're gonna make it all day without getting tired? And you only ate, you know, like a serving of oatmeal this morning for breakfast, or you had a breakfast biscuit and you think you can last all day on that until dinner time? Like, no, of course you're going to be sleepy. Of course you're going to be sleepy and sluggish and have a hard time making it through the day because your body isn't properly fueled. And I think once people start thinking about nutrition in a completely different way, if you're able to attach it to things that you're actually experiencing in your life, and I think I'm going to do a whole series on that, just teaching everybody what, let's see, how do we word this? I want to do a series that teaches people how eating impacts the things you experience on a day-to-day basis. So if you feel tired, sluggish, irritable, if you feel like you don't go to the bathroom enough, if you feel like you get winded pretty easily, even though you feel okay, like you might feel like you're fine, but then all of a sudden you have to, you know, walk for longer than you expected or whatever, and then you feel completely gassed after that. Like, we're going to talk about all those things and how they impact you and how they're all directly connected to how we're eating. And then another thing that I want to do in this upcoming season, because August is my half birthday, and I'll be doing like a 6 month countdown to turning 40. I really do want to talk about things that affect women in their 40s and talk about how fitness and nutrition and overall wellness from a variety of perspectives, um, how that impacts us too as we change and grow and get older, and how maybe we can help ourselves make it through some of those changes a lot easier. Of course, in a way that is easy and sustainable, because I would never recommend anything that's going to drag us through the mud, because that's not how I live my life. So I'm excited, and I feel like that's enough. I feel like if I'm able to cover all of that in season 3, then girl, pat me on the back. And by the time we do an episode in May and my children are getting out of school and we'll be right back here again a year from now, I can say, oh, Tia, job well done on the 2023-24 podcast season and school year for that matter. All of it. Like, we should all be patting ourselves on the back all the time because we do a lot. We do a lot. And I put on Threads, which is the new Twitter for Instagram. I put on Threads this morning, like, let us not ever forget for 1 second that the world truly does revolve around us. So we should plan for ourselves first. We should be our number one priority. Another thing that came to me over this summer is that when I don't have the discipline or I don't feel motivated or encouraged to do any of the stuff that I know I should be doing, I need to start tapping into my love reserve. It's like, oh, Tia, you love yourself way too much to not do so and so. Like, you love yourself so much. Go ahead, girl, and treat yourself to that good meal, or go ahead and make sure you get that workout in, get those steps in, because you love your body way too much to not treat it the way that it deserves to be treated. And that has helped me out too over the summer with just staying consistent, even though we've been doing 80 million things and I've had all these children home with me throughout all of it. So, cheers to season 3. It is coming in August. Cheers to the TVF app. It is also coming soon, maybe not in August, but possibly September. So, very excited for that. And if you need help, like right now, before the app launches, please reach out to me. You can do that at tfvfitness@gmail.com. If you were a previous client and you feel like you're ready to get started again now that school is about to start back, girl, you got my phone number. Don't be afraid to use it. You know, I always tell you that. Once a client, always a client. Text me or call me if you need to, and we can chat. And yeah, I feel like that's enough of a recap and an update. So let's talk about a couple of the random things that have just been going on all summer before I go check something off this summer bucket list downstairs, because I can hear them down there running and tearing up my house. So the story about the submarine. And I'm sorry that people found that to be so funny. I was a little tickled by the whole thing because I'm like, how do you get to a point in life where you are no longer satisfied, happy, or entertained by just doing the regular things? And so you want to take a submarine that was built by my second grader down to the bottom of the ocean to see the Titanic, when there are so many documentaries about the Titanic that you could watch. There is a whole movie about it. I don't know how truthful the movie is to the actual events of the whole thing. But I mean, there are things that you could have watched right here above water that would have given you an idea of what happened down there. I'm pretty sure there are so many pictures and videos of other people who are professionals who had gone down there, taken a look at everything, and they recorded it so that those of us who would never take a submarine to the bottom of the ocean to see it could see it. I mean, the only thing that I think I have a little bit of compassion for as it relates to that whole situation is the fact that there was a 19-year-old boy on there who had apparently only done it to make his daddy happy. He didn't even want to go. I mean, his family spoke out and said he didn't even want to go. He only did it to please his father, which brings me to something else. We have got to stop doing stuff like that to these children. If I'm taking a submarine to the bottom of the ocean and I'm like, ooh, girl, sis, I'm talking to my daughter, you got to ride with me to the bottom of the ocean and check out this shipwreck. And my daughter is like, nah, girl, I'm good. I'm going to keep my feet planted right here above water, but I'll see you when I get back. I'm not going to push her to do something that she doesn't want to do that doesn't have an impact on her life. Like it's not going to change the trajectory of her life in any kind of way. So why am I going to force her to, even if I think it's fun and I think it's cool, I'm like, yeah, you're right. This is something that you don't have to do. This is just something I want you to do, but you don't have to do it because it's not going to change anything that's going on for you, right? It would just be something you could say you did one time, and I don't want you to ever do anything because I kind of made you do it just so that you could say you did it. That's really not a good reason, right? So, absolutely not. I do feel bad for him because he had his whole life in front of him. And I mean, in a way, I mean, his daddy kind of took that from him, right? So that was something. And I mean, the way Twitter got it, because that happened before we had Spill and Threads, right? The way Twitter got a hold of that story and the memes and the jokes, I enjoyed all of it. And I laughed and I giggled the whole time because it's just kind of like, yeah, apparently some people get to a place in life where just doing the stuff that regular billionaires do no longer works for them and they got to do a little bit extra. It's kind of like those people that went to outer space. Who was that? Was that Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk? Like one of them that was on the whole let's go to outer space thing. It's kind of like why? Why would I want to go up there? For what? Just so that you can say you did. There's literally no other reason for you to go up there. We don't know what's up there, but I know I don't care to find out. Like I got enough problems down here. I have enough to worry about and think about down here. I don't need to go up there or out there, whichever way you word it, to figure out what they have going on over there. I don't need to see what problems exist in another galaxy. The earth is giving me enough to do and I can never seem to get to it all. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the billionaires, but they seem to be creating problems for themselves because they probably have one of those lives at this point where it's just kind of like you need excitement because your life is probably boring as a billionaire because once you can have everything and you can do everything, you probably do have everything and do everything. And then, like what kind of life is that? I don't know. It's probably still a good one. If I was a billionaire, I probably would not want to go to the bottom of the ocean and I would not want to go to like a galaxy or anything like that. If I was a billionaire, I'd probably have my oceanfront property somewhere. And when I mean to tell you, I would be sitting down somewhere, eating my food and minding my business. I would. I would. I would. So I thought that whole thing was funny. Then the next thing that took over my timeline this summer, which is kind of recent, was the whole Keke Palmer Usher baby daddy thing. And listen, I'm glad she left him because at this point she's broken up with him, or at least I think she has. I don't know why he got so upset with her to begin with, but I know why. I know why he got mad at her, and let me break it down for you. He got mad at her because when he got with Keke, he thought Keke was a safe bet, right? We all know Keke has always been a cute girl from Akilah and the Bee all the way up until her becoming a mother. We have always looked at Keke and been like, oh my gosh, Keke is so cute. Like she's adorable and she's so funny. Kiki's always going after the bag. She's so successful and we love that for Keke, that she's a self-made little mama. We have always supported everything that Keke has done, right? He got with Keke because of that. Because he was like, oh, Keke is a safe bet. She's cute, but I don't have to worry about nobody really. In his mind, he was like, I don't have to worry about nobody really checking for Kiki like that. So let me go ahead and, like settle down with Miss Palmer and have this baby. Well, then she had that little baby, and my goodness, Kiki grew up. Kiki is a bona fide baddie. Now, she went from being cute to being somebody that is definitely getting way more attention than what she was probably before, right? And he can't handle it. His ego can't handle it. He cannot handle it that now all of a sudden Kiki is breaking necks everywhere she goes. All her stuff is going viral. She puts up a picture, it's a million likes. She steps out on red carpets and then all of these new like fashion looks, and she's eating every single one of them down. And he couldn't handle it. And you know why he couldn't handle it? Because he's not doing anything with himself. As far as we know, we don't know what he does for a living other than watch Kiki's baby and sit down and use Kiki's Wi-Fi to tweet things about Kiki that he could have just picked up the phone and called her or said on a FaceTime or texted her or wrote her in an email or just told her the next time he saw her. That's what's wrong with him. His little ego was eating him alive because what he once thought was a safe bet for himself, because of his ego and his own insecurities, blossomed into the baddie that we see before us now with baby in tow, and he can't handle it. So when she went to the concert and she had on that cute little dress that was cute, super cute, and Usher was serenading her and she was dancing and having a moment and fulfilling all of our teenage dreams, he couldn't handle it. And so he hit her with that tweet, but you a mom though. And I am. I am a mom. I'm a mom and I'm a baddie and I run a good business. And if I want to stand here and dance with Usher and let him sing to me, that's exactly what I'm going to do, sir. I'm so glad she stood up for herself and she broke up with him. Because let me tell you one thing. If I should happen to make it to Usher's residency before he closes up shop in October, what I mean to tell you, I am going to pray for a Keke Palmer moment. I am going to pray for a Keke Palmer moment. I want the dress, I want the serenade, and I want the dance. Yes, just cute dress me and serenade me, please. And if you are in a relationship with somebody that can't handle you getting a serenade by Usher in a cute little party dress, then my gosh, yeah, girl, leave him where you found him. Because if I'm at that concert with you and you're supposed to be my man, my man, my man, I expect for you to be recording. Your only job in that situation is to record me and Usher, right? Make sure I look real cute. Let me smile and dance because we know that it's a temporary moment. Usher gonna go sing to the next girl a couple rows down from you, right? When the concert is over, Kiki might see Usher again because she's a celebrity, but like one of us, right? We're not gonna see Usher again. So let him sing to your girl. Let him give her that moment that she's been thinking about since My Way, or even before My Way. What was that other song? All the time I think of you, holding on to someone new. Thank you. Okay? We have been Usher fans for a long time. And oh my gosh, give me a Keke Palmer moment at his residency. Give me one. I'm gonna be dressed. If I get to go, I'm gonna be dressed for it. I'm gonna be ready, and I'm gonna have my phone charged up and in my husband's hand. And I'm gonna say, if he walks up to me and starts singing, you better make sure you press record because I don't want to forget it. And while Usher is singing to me, I'm going to give Usher the best 15 to 30 seconds that I have to give because I'm going to dance and I'm going to sing Usher down. Okay? He couldn't handle it. And so I'm glad she broke up with him. I'm glad she broke up with him. Also over the summer, I've been thinking a lot about my hair and if I want to try doing micro locks. I've been looking at a lot of videos, doing a lot of research. I have talked to people with sister locks just to find out what, the process is and what their experience has been and what I can expect and all of that. And it sounds like something I want to try. I know the difference between sister locks and micro locks, and I think I want micro locks. So I'm giving that some thought. I'm giving it some thought. And the only reason I hesitate to go ahead and do it is because if I'm being honest, I'm not a hair person, which is why I kind of think having locks would be a good fit for me because I'm not a hair person. Like, I'm not doing hair and installing things. And no, y'all know I get braids, one set right after the other. But I think I'm getting to a place now where I'm like, I do want to wear my own hair out. But it just needs to be in a style every single day. Like, you can't leave it up to me to do anything with this. And I do sweat every day. So whatever hairstyle I wear, it needs to be something that is workout friendly, but also cute. And I think micro locks are just so cute. And I see people styling them all different ways and they get them curled and I don't know. But my only reservation about it too is that I do have pretty fine hair. So when my hair is like straightened, it's fine. But I guess locks would be different. And then people have talked to me about the growing process and how you might start off looking a little bit like Stevie Wonder, but then by the time you go back for a couple retwists, things look a lot fuller. And that's my only concern. Is like I don't want to look like Stevie Wonder, or like my best friend said, I do not want to also look like Raggedy Ann. And because I can't get either one of those images out of my mind, I'm going to keep thinking about it until I figure out what I want to do. And if I do it, I'll probably wait until like next year, like after my birthday to do it. Possibly. I don't know. I also need to talk to the girl that braids my hair because she has locks. And I know she does like retwists for people and stuff like that. So I'm going to talk to her at my next appointment to see what we think would be good for me, because if I decide to do it, I would probably just ask her to do them for me, because she does my hair and she's been doing my hair for several years now. So, yes, if you have locks and you have any advice for me as far as that goes, please reach out to me. You can do that on Instagram at TFB Fitness and educate me or encourage me. Send me a picture or send me the page of somebody you follow that is going through their lock journey, so that I can learn more before I make the decision. And then lastly, I did want to talk about a few of the things that I'm watching on TV because I've been doing a lot of TV watching and I'm really in love with almost everything that I've been watching. Virgin River, it took me a long time to get into it, but now that I'm into it, I'm in it. Like, I don't know, that first episode, and I tried watching Virgin River like 3 or 4 different times, but my mom was like, "Oh, Tia, just stick with it and it will finally grab you and you will like it." And so I was like, okay, mom, I'm gonna give it another try. And sure enough, like, she's always right about so many things. I love her so much. I stuck with it. I watched it, and now I await the moment that I can turn on Virgin River and get caught up and figure out what's going on. If you haven't seen that on Netflix, girl, check it out. It's so good. I'm still watching Succession, but I'm watching it with my husband, so I don't get to binge and like watch that as often because we kind of only watch it when we both feel like watching it at the same time. And it's really good, really funny. And I hate that we didn't watch it in real time when people were like probably tweeting about it on social media, but it's really good, really funny, but also like it's got that element of drama in there too. And if you haven't seen that, that is on HBO Max, the app. Another thing that is on HBO Max, the app, let's talk about it. And just like that, it is the Sex and the City reboot. Is this the second season for the show? I think this is the second season. And what did they do to that show, you guys? What did they do to the show? The show is just not good. And if it weren't for the fact that we like to see the fashion, and if it wasn't for the fact that we already feel like we kind of know the characters enough, so it's kind of like a mindless watch, I don't know that many of us would still be watching and just like that. I mean, I also want to see what they do with Nicole Ari Parker's character. I want to see what happens with Naya. I feel like Naya is a character that they should be forming a whole storyline around, because I feel like she really has the most interesting thing going on with her and like the estranged husband, but now she kind of wants to get out there and date and move around a little bit. I'm like, yeah, show us more of her and less of Miranda, because Miranda has become a full shell of herself. Miranda definitely is nothing like what she used to be. She used to be so strong, so assertive, Like, not a doormat in any way. And literally, when she talks to Chase sometimes, look at her shoulders. Like, go back and either watch some of the old episodes of this season or like just wait for the next season because I'm sure she's gonna do it in this next episode too. But even like her shoulders are like hunched down when she talks to Che. And I'm like, who is that? That's not the Miranda that we knew. Like, not at all. Not at all. And did you not see Steve doing those pull ups in the doorway in their apartment? She looked at Steve like he was dust and kept it moving. And I'm like, nah, Steve actually looks pretty good. Help me understand why y'all did all of that running on the Brooklyn Bridge only to get back together, only for you to become what? Like, I guess, bored with him? Because I guess that's how they tried to sell it to us. Like, oh, Steve is boring now. So now she doesn't want any parts of him. Is that what they tried to do? And so, like, now in order for her to have like an exciting sex life or an exciting dating life, now she's got to date Che, which is fine, but her character completely changed as a result of this relationship with her. And I'm like, I just want to see the old Miranda maybe in a new relationship. Like, why Miranda have to change so much? I don't know, but it's kind of aggravating. And everybody talks about it. It's all over social media. If people watch this show, the only thing you hear people talking about is how Miranda's character is hard to watch now. Some people try to drag Charlotte, but I'm like, nah, Charlotte is the same as she's always been. She's the same as she's always been. And Carrie is the same as she has always been. And I started to say my opinion of Carrie, but since she's like the main person of the show, I won't. But I kind of feel like Carrie brings a lot of her situations onto herself, but we won't even talk about that because this episode is already at 1 hour and my children have knocked on my door twice asking me to come out wherever I am, right? Because they're ready to get back to the bucket list. But yes, if you haven't been watching And Just Like That, girl, get caught up, but it's kind of like a snooze, but at least the girls look great and the outfits are still cute. Never Have I Ever. I finally got around to watching the rest of that. And that was a great series finale. I love it when a show closes up the show in a place that gives us closure and it doesn't leave us wondering for something or hoping something had been different. Like, it ends it the way they know the fans want to see it end. And I literally almost cried during the last episode of Never Have I Ever. That show is a 10 out of 10. And then lastly, a little unexpected recommendation here is a show called Murder in the Heartland, and it's also on HBO Max. That show takes you through different homicide cases, and they start at the beginning of the body being found, and it takes you all the way through them solving the um, murder case and them telling you who the killer is. But like during each episode, during the whole time, you're like, is that person the killer? Is that person the killer? Maybe it was that person. And then, ultimately they end up telling you, and then they tell you how long the person got sentenced for. And like so they wrap it up. Each episode closes it up for you. So you don't have any like lingering questions about it either. But what I mean to tell you, I am hooked on that. I am hooked. I think it's only like 6 or 7 seasons of that show. And I'm on season 5 because I watch it to go to bed at night because I love a good murder mystery at night to tuck me in. I've been watching it at night, and so of course I fall asleep on it. And then when I wake up the next day, I kind of just pick up where I left off. But when I mean to tell you, those episodes are some kind of good. They're just as good as that Captain D's fish sandwich. I'll tell you that. It's really good. I'm so happy I found that show, and when I'm done with it, I'll be looking for shows that are similar. I love a good murder mystery. I really do. And this show focuses on like little small towns, right? So it focuses on towns like in places we've never even heard of because of course it shakes them up. These murder cases shake up the whole town. There's gossip, there's rumors, people are chatting, and it's good. It's small town middle America murder mysteries that will have you hooked. So if you like that kind of stuff, girl, tune in because it'll give you something to do while you fold clothes or ignore the pile of clothes that need to be folded in my case. But yes, I'm so glad we got a chance to catch up. Now that someone has knocked on my door twice, girl, I'm going to go ahead and let you go so that I can go back downstairs and I believe sit through the Captain Underpants movie for what I do believe is probably at least the 30th time I've probably seen it. But somebody's got to make the snacks. Somebody's got to be in charge of concessions, and that is why they are knocking on my door because they want the movie and they want the snacks. They want the bucket list. So I hope you've had a great summer. Summer isn't quite over yet. We still have quite some time before the weather changes. So soak it up as much as you can. Remember that it all revolves around you. Remember when you're out, compliment a woman, tell her something nice about herself. Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. What God has for you is for you, and never knock another woman's hustle. It was so good catching up with you, and I will see you back right here in a couple of weeks for back to school. And oh, I go see Beyonce August 11th. So girl, stay tuned because I can't figure out how I'm going to capture all of that and then shit. Because I mean, we have to share and talk about it, right? I already have my outfit. I've been working out like crazy, eating all the vegetables so that I can dance, dance, dance the night away. I have a suite booked down there where she's going to be. Well, not where she's going to be, but like near the concert. So I'm excited about that. I'm making a whole weekend out of it, and it's going to be the best treat to myself after these children go back to school. Right? So excited. I've learned the lyrics to the very popular section of Heated that people keep sharing on social media, and I'm ready. I'm ready. I just got to sit here and patiently wait for my tour date. So that is also our Beyonce update for today's show. But yes, enjoy the rest of your summer. I will talk to you in a couple of weeks. Love you. Bye.